I'm your host, Ben Martinek, and tonight we have the Barrens on stage with us. We have Dana Smith and Jordan Gibbons. How are y'all?
Hello.
Doing well,
Good.
thanks.
How are you?
Thank y'all for coming out. We appreciate this so very much, and this is for you guys, so live it up here on the stage.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm going to keep adjusting my mic because I like to do that. So, like I like to do on every show of Texas Local Live here, I like to ask, why music? What got you into this industry, and why? Whoever wants to field that one first.
Yeah, Dana has been playing since you were how old? Like 7?
I mean, started guitar when I was 6, but I really got into like Stevie Ray Vaughan and John Mayer when I first started, and I kind of ran with it since. There was just something in their playing that really I gravitated towards, and it spoke to me on a very deeper level than a lot of things that I found in life, and I figured it'd be a great thing to follow and see where it takes me while I can.
Oh, yeah. I think so. Those two for sure, man. I'm a guitar player, so I have to say that.
Yeah.
I dig both those artists very much.
Definitely.
So cool.
Yeah, and we met in San Antonio. We were in another band and met about 2 years ago playing in that band. But for me, this whole music journey started about 5 years ago when I picked up a guitar in college for the first time.
Very cool.
And
Where'd you go?
UTSA in San Antonio.
Nice.
So go Roadrunners.
There you go.
But yeah, I'd always wanted to learn how to play the guitar, and my freshman year I found myself with a lot more time on my hands. So just started to teach myself how to play, took a couple lessons.
Cool.
And did my first open mic about 2-3 years ago, and that turned into a audition for a local band in town. And
very nice.
I signed on, and that's how we met, and
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
So 2 years y'all been together doing these things, and for the most part together for the full time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Correct.
Yeah, we were under a different band name, but about 5 months ago we started the Barrens.
Okay.
And so are getting started, getting up and running.
That's all you got to do. Just get it going. Press go and just let it roll.
The first step is
Very
starting.
cool, yeah. So you did you have a family, Dana? Did you have a family background in music, or what'd you got you started so early?
A little bit. The biggest connection I have as far as music goes would be my uncle. He plays classically professionally, and so he kind of got me started. Every now and then as a kid, he would bring his RV sometimes, and he had a little like studio set up in there.
Ooh, that's cool.
And I remember the first album I ever got was Eric Clapton Unplugged, and so he recorded me and him playing Before You Accuse Me, and just kind of taught me a normal blues shuffle. And but he's an amazing musician, plays anything with strings, classical, flamenco, jazz, so he's taught me a lot. My brother, he got really into like drumline.
Yeah.
So he was actually at UTSA. He was the percussion captain there for a long time. He played tenors. Outside of that, not as much though. So they were kind of the only two musical ones. My sister played a little bit in high school, but just normal marching band, flute. So
yeah.
But I've definitely, besides my uncle, I've taken it a lot further than my siblings and stuff as far as music goes.
Very cool. What about you, Jordan? Do you have any family history with music? I mean, you just started, it seems like pretty recently. 5 years ago was pretty new to the scene. So
my parents they weren't really into music. They're music lovers.
Sure.
So I grew up with music playing in the house all the time. But they love to dance. They love to try to help me write songs, which is so fun.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So, as far as playing, it just kind of, I guess it came out of nowhere for me.
That's probably second nature, though. You grew up around people enjoying music the way they do, and then you had to like express it somehow.
Exactly.
Like I couldn't dance either, so I had to go to an instrument.
I
still can't.
I can't.
Very
I
true.
I can't.
What am I thinking?
I try.
Try to act like I do it now. So when you mentioned songwriting, your parent, they're helping you out with that. That's kind of an interesting concept. Do you write most of the songs for you two, for the band, I guess?
It typically starts with me. I'll have a song and I'll bring it to him. He's a really good producer. Cool. He's the music man out of it. So he adds the musical parts, and just recently we figured out how to songwrite together, how to co-write.
How recently?
Probably like 3 months ago, we had our first successful co-write.
That's awesome.
It usually ends in like tears, and we're like
that's good stuff.
fighting match.
I like
it's like, no, it's gonna be this line, but We had 3 successful songs written in 2 days. We went out to Elgin, Texas.
Yeah.
His stepmom has a ranch, like 18 acres out there.
So just get away from everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
it
awesome.
was the first time we had tried something like that, and it worked extremely well. So
That's
had
amazing.
no cell
Yeah.
phone service, so we were not distracted by anything.
Yeah,
and
it's a very old style house too. It's white picket fence, no fireplace,
Minimal.
heating, AC. It's
Yeah.
like a furnace, so you literally
Oh,
have to put
that's-
food
oh,
or
dude.
wood in it, start a fire, and
Best night's sleep
one of the
ever.
songs we'll actually play was based off that. But I mean, yeah,
Called the Elgin Chronicles. I like it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really cool. Awesome.
Thanks.
I dig that. Yeah, I've heard some people do that. And I can't. There was a documentary on Netflix about that studio that was, I think the Eagles were recording at or something. It was like similar concept. It was like in the middle of the desert. I'm sure they're all doing drugs or something too.
Yes.
But like just locked away from everything. And something about that just brings it out, especially if you got the creatives on the side of it
Yeah.
too. That
For
obviously
sure.
helps, right? Yeah.
yeah.
For sure.
So cool. So y'all kind of jointly write stuff and like more lyricist, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay, and then come back in with melodies and production, and that's kind of
Yeah.
unique too. Not to interrupt on that, but
No.
the production side of things is really interesting.
Yeah.
And how that bounces off, because lucky for you that you can come up with this story and kind of bring it to fruition. It's kind of a cool.
Yeah, I
thing.
never thought I'd get into recording and production. I wouldn't call it really good yet. It's definitely better than average, I would hope. But I mean, I've always just thought I'd end up doing guitar, and then we had someone record us for free, just a friend, and I was kind of watching them, thinking like, gee, I think I can do that, maybe even a little better. So I went and got my own equipment and started dabbling in it, and just kind of self-taught myself and reached out to certain people that I looked up to and got cool opportunities, and I've just kept learning from that. So
Very cool.
it ended up evolving into a nice like yin and yang thing where she does one half of the songwriting process, which is the lyrics and
Yeah.
the melodies, and
Yeah.
I ended up doing the musical parts. So.
Kind of arranging it all together.
Yeah, and having a little setup at the house where it's just a great environment for writing, because it's just a little corner in the room. I'm sitting there. I can put up, mock drum beats of what could be there,
Sure.
some bass parts that she has a rough idea of, like, oh, this is what it could sound like, and we just
Yeah.
kind of trial and error it out. So
Yeah.
we
Nowadays you
land on
can
something.
lay all that out pretty
Exactly.
easily, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Get it done.
And so it gets a little demo together until we can get the funds together or whatever to
Yeah.
go to an actual studio, hire some real musicians.
That's
and-
kind of all it takes. If you
Yeah.
get creative with some video too, you can kind of make something dynamic. And I mean, anything could blow up on nowadays. You have no idea, right?
Right.
YouTube is YouTube.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just nuts. Blaine Howard was here talking about he had his single song he wrote for his wife, and it just went viral. It was like a cell phone video, and
that's
it
cool.
went like 500,000 views or something. I can't remember, but it was ridiculous. So anyway, it can happen to anybody at that
For
point,
sure.
right? So back to you on the writing. I don't want to beat the dead horse
You're
here,
good.
but
No.
now I forgot what I was going to say. You've been doing it for 5 years, roughly, writing songs. That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, probably writing like 3.5 years.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Yeah.
So fairly new. I
Yeah.
like to get the mindset of like where you're, because a lot of people, they may write when they're 12 and like
Right.
Yeah.
still have those songs about something, puppy love or whatever, like moving on. So it's interesting to have that concept later in life and just kind of dive into it that way. You have your voice, you have that. So I'm just curious of
Yeah.
how you came about to that. What made you get into that, I guess?
Yeah, and it was always such a big task for me. I was always so afraid to even try because I was like, I can't write a song. It's too hard, but
It's daunting, putting yourself out there like that, yeah.
Yeah, but once you get your first one done, like the first one just kind of came out of nowhere. And I was like, okay, I could do this. Like it's, once you get your first one out of the way, you're like, okay, it's not as scary as it seems.
What was the
And-
first one about?
Oh man, it was called Swept.
Okay.
And it was just, a love song.
Sure.
Swept me off my feet type of thing.
okay. That's cool.
So, and it's cool to see, yeah, it's just, everyone says this, but it's just a way to express yourself and
Yeah.
whatever I'm going through, whether it's, you're falling in love or you're going through a breakup or you're just thinking about life and,
Yeah.
not necessarily relationships, just everyday
Just in
life.
general.
And yeah, growing up, being in your 20s, just all kinds of stuff. It's just
Cool.
a good outlet. And yeah, we just make a good team because, like I said, he's and I handle a lot of the business side of it, and he handles a lot
That
of
was your segue into my next point here.
Yeah.
That's perfect because I want to know what that dichotomy is like in the professional realm of this. Because let's be honest, you got to get out and you got to hustle. You got to play
Right.
gigs. So how do y'all tackle that as a duo?
It's got its ups and downs for sure, especially because we're both very passionate about our decisions and choices. So, yeah, very similar to what she's saying. We found out rather than just trying to throw two different ideas and fighting them out for different things, we just separated it. Hey, you enjoy and are better at the marketing business stuff. I'm stronger at the music stuff. So all music decisions, that'll fall to me, and anything music and marketing, whatever, I just don't even bother with it. Trust your decision, and that's it.
There you go.
And I hope for the same on mine. So it's ended up working out that way. So
seems to be. I mean, y'all doing some good stuff. I mean, come
Thanks.
on.
Yeah.
That's cool. Trust is the key, though. That's
Yeah.
it. You
Yeah.
got to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's folds apart to nothing.
Totally.
Remember that, children. Trust.
Yes.
All you kids out there watching, trying to figure out what to do with music.
Definitely.
Learn.
Definitely.
Learn. Take notes. Write them down.
Learning to work as a team is extremely
Yeah, that's a big
difficult.
thing.
And
And a lot of times, more than half the time, we don't agree on everything,
Sure.
But it's good because I know that he's not going to sugarcoat it.
Exactly.
We're truthful with each other, and we even when it's hard to hear, we're upfront and honest, and we
Criticism's
always
tough.
make it work.
Yeah. You have to.
Yeah.
Criticism's tough, and if you don't have it, it's like, what is the point of a relationship if you don't have someone telling you what you're doing wrong to get better, right? I mean,
Exactly.
that's kind of it.
He's like my coach. I'm like, and half the time I'm like, oh my gosh, don't even tell me that. But
I
it's
don't wanna
good.
hear
He
that.
makes me better. I feel like I'm becoming a better writer, and just because, you need honest feedback. Sometimes it's hard from your family and friends. It's hard
And they
to
may
get
not
that.
say it,
Exactly. They're like, oh my gosh, everything sounds great. But it's good to get that feedback, and that's how you get better,
Yeah.
And so we're a good team.
I can tell. Y'all are not stepping on each other, and y'all are just talking. I love it. Back and forth.
cool, thanks.
We're
That's
on
great.
our best behavior
It's
right
good.
now.
Yeah, right. We'll wait a little bit. You're going to play play some tunes out here tonight with us. If you're not here and you're watching online, get out here to the Ranch in Las Colinas. If you are here, welcome and stick around. We've got 4 great artists tonight. The Barrens being one of them. So stick around. So now moving forward, what do we have planned coming up this year? Stuff you can tell us about? Some exciting things you like to mention?
Yeah, we have a trip. We're going to Nashville in
Ooh.
about a month.
Have y'all been before?
I have been one.
You've been
Actually, I've
my
been
first,
twice.
but- Okay.
I went up there and wrote a couple songs
very
and
cool.
got to explore the city. And
Nice. Beautiful town.
yeah, we're playing during CMA Fest
Oh, sweet.
Fun.
at the listening room. So that will be
Nice.
really fun. We're really
Ah,
excited.
Very cool.
So that will be exciting, and yeah, just a bunch of little random gigs coming up in the summer. We're getting a band together, a full band.
Okay.
Just found our players, so we have a 5-piece band, which is
Oh.
exciting. Now it's just a matter of getting a set together.
Yeah. Working out the kinks, getting
Exactly.
all smoothed out.
Yeah, getting tight and
And getting some recordings.
yeah.
There you go.
We have a lot of ideas down on paper that just haven't actually been finished yet. So
Very cool.
that's been a lot of my time, is trying to finish getting those together and
Yeah.
getting all the band up to speed on who's playing what and everything. And
Yeah. Make copies. Get behind there and write it all out. Get it ready for them.
Exactly.
True, yeah.
You do this. You do this.
Yep,
That's
yep.
awesome. That's so cool. You have that dynamic. It's just that's a rarity. I think. I don't know. Just the production side of it with the artists.
yeah.
I don't know. It's just cool. My mind's blown right now that y'all are doing this. It's awesome. So, tell us where to find your stuff, so we can track you. Tell these fans where they can find you. All that goodies.
If you go, we're under the Barrens Band,
Okay.
Barrens. If you go to Instagram or on Twitter, Facebook, the Barrens Band, at the Barrens Band. So,
Okay.
yeah, and Spotify, we've got a song coming out May 27th, a new
Okay.
song. So,
Ooh, that's
coming up, I think it's like a week.
We'll be
Yeah.
A
playing
week
that
from
week
yesterday.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Very
so you can find us there and
Well, reach
check
out
our
to us
stuff
when you launch that. We can help you promote a little bit on our page.
Definitely.
Send us a
Love
message
to.
because I'll forget. I'll forget like in 5 seconds. So.
No, yes, we will send it.
Yeah,
for
we'd
sure.
love to, for real. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
we're doing this for. So we want to do this.
Awesome.
Spread the word. So we're ready to hear some music here coming up. I'm not going to lie. I'm ready. Definitely ready to hear this. Y'all come on out if you're not here already. Come hear the Barrens. Got some other bands out tonight. We'll be hanging out here from about 7 to 9-ish, maybe later, depending on the crowd. If you guys get a little wild, hang out with us. Thank y'all so much for chatting.
Yes,
We're looking forward to
you.
hearing some tunes afterwards.
Thank y'all so much.
Thanks.
Excited to be here. Falling under road routines. Every day's the same damn thing. And these four walls are slowly closing in. Places that we wanna see sometimes seem so out of reach. Put it off again, so who knows when. I think it's time we stirred up the fire a little bit. See where it goes. Stop all the overthinking it, thinking it. Can't wait for the perfect time till everything's just right. So let's just stir it up, take a chance, forget about the consequence. So live a little bit, yeah, yeah. Let's just live a little bit, oh yeah. Baby, let's get back to basics. Pick a road, see where it takes us. Driving till the buildings turn to pines. Appointments we'll just have to miss. Throw away the to-do list. Fixing up the house can wait a while. I think it's time we stirred up the fire a little bit, a little bit. See where it goes. Stop all the overthinking it, thinking it. Can't wait for the perfect time till everything's just right. So let's just stir it up, take a chance, forget about the consequence. So live a little bit, yeah, yeah. Let's just live a little bit, oh yeah. I think it's time we stirred up the fire a little bit, a little bit. See where it goes. Stop all the overthinking it, thinking it. Can't wait for the perfect time till everything's just right. So let's just stir it up, take a chance, forget about the consequence. 'Cause why not give it a shot?